was extras. I put them.
Okay. Maybe I'll remember it. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll say, oh my God.
Yeah, the first one's gonna be 9:30, and your second one will be 9:30. Oh, it's 9:29, then 9:30.
You're getting old.
I don't want to get old. I didn't even want to get
Hard.
this old.
Hard.
Take me out. Take me.
Mom's in the hospital. What's wrong with her? Asthma?
We didn't meet Ronnie this morning. Is he all right?
I don't think he's supposed to go home. Oh, he's still
Did
been
he
going
make
to
one?
Oh, he's
Yeah, he took out for a few weeks. Then did he make one?
He was in here and then got stuck in his doorway and he said he needed to go home. And then he got mad about some stuff he didn't do and he got aggravated.
Now he did quit for a few weeks, and then he started back. I don't think they could ever find him. You ready to go out there, Dave? He's not short on confidence. No, that's good.
You keep going long enough,
I don't think he'll ever get there. I mean, you just I kind of figured if Uncle Randy owned the sale barn, he might someday win it. But since he sold the sale barn, I don't think he will.
Didn't he also go down there and do some Casey, there's Mark saying that he's getting worse. He said, hey, what is that marine? Snuff collar? Both black bulls, but we need the one that's running wild.
All right, everybody on inside. Come on in, get a good seat. Let's go. Everybody on inside. Here we go. All right, Black Boat will start with. With the bull, 168, 169, 168 on money, $9.09, 968.99, $8.09, 999.70, bitty 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 one, $1, $171, 2, 2, 2, bitty bitty 3, bitty 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 4, bitty 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 $3, $4, 173 Lone Star 1, Lone Star 1.
Nothing.
150 and I won. We'll get him going. Let everybody say him. 150. He would one. He would one. That one. That one. He would one. The money. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 50. 59. $60. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 65. 6. 7. 7. 167. 166. Marty number 25. Marty 25. 175, $76. 175, 67, $8, 99, 80, 1, 81, 2, 3, 83, 83, 183, 183, 182, Lone Star 1. $165, $6, $5 money, $6, $7, $7, $8, $9, $9.71, $1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, $5, $6, $77, $8, $9, $9.80, $81, $81, $81, $180, Lone Star 1.
Did you ever think you'd see
Probably not. Okay, cripple up now. 125, $126 on the money. 125, 126, 127, 127, $8, $8, $8, $9, 9, 9, 9, 30, 1, 31, 32, $2, 131 Marty number. Put him on 500. Marty 500. Her 33, 34, 33 on the money for 134. Her 33, 134, 34, 34 divided by 5, 5, 5, 34, 5, 6, 36, 37, 37, 38, 138, 38, 38, 38, 137 Marty, 99 Marty, 99. 163, 4, 163, 4, 5, 64, now 5, 6, 7, 8, $8, 9, $9, 9, 9, $8, 9, 9, 168, Lone Star 1. Hey, 35, 36 out of 135, 136. On the money, 35, 36, 136. 135, 36, $7, 137, 37, 38, 38, 39, $9, 40, 1, 2, 41, $2, 141, Marty number 8. Okay, said they would be open. 30, but $1, money 1, 2, 3, but 4, but 5, but 36, 36, 37, 37, 38, 39, 9, 40, 140, now 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, but 4, 143, Lone Star. Same story. They should be open. It's happening. 133, now 4. 133 on the money 4. 33, now 4, now 5. 35, 36, 137, 37, 38, 38, 39, 40, 140, 140, 140, 139, Marty 15. Okay, be some break cows off these later. You're buying 3 head. You're buying 3 head. 37, 38, 37, 38, 38, 87, $8, $9, $9, 40, 140, now 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $146, 5 seconds, 6, 145, Lone Star. Got a little bump. $105, $106, $106, $107, $107, $106, $107, $8, $8, $8, $9, $9, $9, $10, $110, $11, $11, $12, $13, $14, $15, $116, $116, $16, $16, $17, $18, $18, $18, $18, $117, Marty, 8. It's happening. 117, 18, 117, 18, 18, money 18, 17, $18, 18, 18, 118, 119, with a bit of 20, with a bit of 1, with a bit of 2, with a bit of 21, $2, 121, 19, 19, 19, 19, 19, 121, Marty 15, Marty 15. The young cap. It happened hang. 170, what got 170 now one. $170 one. 170 now one. 171. It would $1 to $1 $1 2 bit of 3 bit of 4. 175 4 5 bit of 6 bit of 76. 177 7 8 8 8 9 9 80 bit of 1. 81 2 bit of 2 3 bit of 4 bit of 84 5 6 86 7 8 8 88 99 89 bit of 9 188. Shoot number 13, shoot 8, shoot number 8, shoot 8, 144 now 5, 5, 5, money 5, 144 now 5, 7, 8, 48, 47, 48, $8, 8, 147 Lone Star. Choice here, 175, 180, 175, 80, money, 85, at 85, 95, at $2, $2, 5, 205, 205, pick what you like, 205, 205, 205, 205, 10, 210, 15, 15, 210, 15, 20, 220, now 5, 230, 30, now 5, 235, 235, 230, Adrian. $140 now 5, $140 now 5, money 5, but $145, 55, 65, 70, $175, 80, 5, $90, 5, $2, 5, $205, $205, $205, $5, $205, $205, $205, $205, $2, Tom 3, Tom 3. Okay. Hold the little black one if you need to. 130 now 5, 130 now 5, 130 all money now 5, 5, 30 now 5, 135, 40, 5, 50, 5, 60, 5, 165, 60, 2 and a half, 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 162 and a half, 162 and a half, 160, Marty 45. It happened hand 140 now 5, 140 now 5, 50, 150, 155, 160 now 5, 170, 170, 170, 165, 170, 170, 170, 170, 170, 165. Adrian. Evercans, hand 120, now 2 and a half, 122 and a half, money, 2 and a half, 120, now 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, better 2 and a half, 5, 127 and a half, 30, now 2 and a half, now 5, 35, 37 and a half, 140, 2 and a half, 42, 5, 147 and a half, 147 and a half, 147 and a half, 50, 150, 152 and a half, 152 and a half, 5, 55, 57 and a half, 157 and a half, 157 and a half, 157 and a half, 155, Tom 1, Tom 1. Ibit 130, now 1, 130, now 1, Ibit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 37, 38, 37, 39, $9, now 40, 140, 140, 140, 140, 139, Marty 100. Sell a bull calf, bull calf. Seven hand, $2, now 5, $2, now 5, now 10, now 2, 5, 2, 10, $25, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, about 205, 10, 205, 10, 10, 10, but 15, 215, 220, 220, 220, 215, now 20, 20, 25, 225, 30, 230, 235, 35, 40, 240, 240, 235. Adrian. Sell a heifer, 7.5, 140, now 5, 145, 55, 65, 165, 70, 175 at 80, but 185, 85, 180, now 5, 85, 85, 85, 85, 90, 190, 190, now 5, 195, $2, $2, now 5, 205, 205, $2 a pound. Adrian. Hey, look, I'm over here. You can get in the business. Big Bend State Park. 750, 75, $800, 800, 800 and a quarter, 8 and a quarter, 8 and a half, 75, 875, 900, 900 and a quarter, 9 and a quarter, 9 and a quarter, 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 75, 975, $1,000, $1,000, 1,000 and a quarter, quarter, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half, 10 and a half, 75, 10, 75, 1,100, 1,100 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half, 11 and a half, 75, 1,200, 1,200 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter, 1,200 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter, now a half, 12 and a half, 1,250, 1,250, 1,250, 1,225. Marty, number 2. Over there, $2, now 5, $2, now 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 230, now 5, now 40, 240, now 5, now 50, 255, 255, 255, 260, 260, now 5, 265, 75, 275, 80, 285, 85, 285, 285, 90, 90, 95, 295, $3, 305, 10, 310, 15, 15, 20, 5, 325, 30, now 5, 40, 5, 50, 55, 355, 365, 365, 70, 370, 375, 375, 80, 80, 85, 85, 90, 90, 90, 390, 385, 90, 385, 90, 390, 385. Marty, number 22. Marty, 22. Oh, there, 170, now 5, 170, now 5, 80, 5, 90, 5, $2, $2 now 5, 205, 205, 205, 205, 205, 205, 205, 205, $2. Adrian. Seven and 133, now 4, 133, now 4, 33, 4, 5, 6, 7, $8, $8, 9, 9, 40, 141, able to $1, able to $1, $1, 141, 141, 140. Marty, number 98. Marty, 98. Got in here last night. $11.50, 75, 1,200 and a quarter and a half, 12 and a half, 75, 13 and a quarter and a half, now 75, 14 and a quarter, 14 and a quarter and a half, now 75, 14, 75, 15, 1500 and a quarter, 15 and a half, 15, 75, 1,600, 1,600 and a quarter, 16 and a quarter and a half, 16 and a half, 75, 16, 75, 1,700, 17 and a quarter, about 17 and a quarter, 1,700 and a quarter, got about half, 17 and a half, 75, now about 1,800, 18, 18, 18 and a quarter, 18 and a half, 18 and a half, 75, 1875, 19 and a quarter, 19 and a quarter and a half, 1975, 1975, 1975, 75, 75, 1950. Adrian, number 2. Adrian, number 2. African 7 half, 180 now 5, 180 now 5, money 5, 90, 5, $2, 5, 210, 210, 15, 20, 220, 215, 220, 25, 225, 30, 230, 35, 235, 40, 240, 35, 40, 40, 40, 240 now 5, 245, 245, 245, 240. Russell, number 3. Russell, 3. 7, 290, now 5, 290, now 5, money 5, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 335, 335, 330, now 540, 340, now 5, 345, 345, 340. D&D, number 23. 190, now 2 and a half, 192 and a half, 2 and money, 2 and a half, 190, now 2 and a half, 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 190, 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 Tom 1. Porter Cattle, Gerald Porter from Fort Stockton. Sell a steer over there. $2.95, $2.95, $2.9, $2.5, $2.02.5, $2.02.5, steer going on money, $2.5, $2.02.95, $2.05, $7.5, $10, $12.5, $15, better $17, $20, $2.05, $7.5, $2.30, $2.9, better $5, better $7.5, $40, better $2.40, $2.5, $2.14, $2.5, $7.5, better $50, $2.50, $2.5, $55, $57.5, $60, $2.60, $2.60, $2.57.5, Nolan. 59, Nolan 59, 220, now 2.5, 220, now 2.5, 220, money, 2.5, but 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, but about 7.5, 30, but 2.5, but 5, but 7.5, but 237.5, 240, now 40, 2.5, but 5, but 7.5, 250, 250, 2.5, 5, but 7.5, 260, 2.5, but about 5, but 7.5, 70, 2.5, but 5, but 7.5, but about 80, 280, 2.5, 80, 2.5, 280, but 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 280, and 871, 871. Over there, $2.16, now 5, $2.16, now 5, $2.60 on the money, now 5, but 5, 2.60, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.65, 7, but 70, but 70, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.70. Troy, number 6, Troy 6, 7.5, 270, 2.5, 270, 2.5, 5, 2.5, 277, 82.5, 7.5, 92.5, 95, 97.5, $3, 2.5, 302.5, 5, 7.5, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, better 3, 10, 12.5, 3, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, better 3, 12.5, 310, capital 31, capital 31, 7. So little one, but $3 now, 2.5, 302.5, money, 2.5, 3.5, but 7.5, but 10, but 12.5, 15, but 79, but 20, but 2.5, but 5, but 25, 7.5, 30, but 30, but 30, 327, Troy 6, Troy 6, $2, 4.50, now 2.5, 250, 2.5, 7.5, 60, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 70, 2.5, 5, but 7.5, 80, but 2.5, 85, 87, 90, but 2.5, but 5, 95, 97.5, 297.5, 7.5, 7.5, 297.5, 295. That'll be Nolan 26, Nolan 26. Two little ones there. $3, now 5, $3, not 2 little ones. $3 on the money, now 5, now 10, now 15, 15, 20, 5, 325, 30, now 5, 40, 5, 50, 5, 360, 5, 70, 70, 370, 375, and 80, 5, 90, 5, 4, 5, 10, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5, 435, 430, lady number 9, 4 lady 94. 240, now 5, 240, now 5, but money, 5, but 240, now 5, 240, now 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, but 50, but 250, now 5, but 60, now 5, now 70, now 5, 80, 285, 90, but 90, 290, 290, 90, 90, but 90, 285, D&D 93, D&D 93, 290, now 5, 290, now 5, 290, but 5, 5, 5, 295. Sell one of them, Jody, or not? Judge Choice, $2.90, now 5. Now $3, now 5, now 10, now 15, but 20, $3.20, now 5, 30, 5, 40, 5, 345, 345, 340, lady 94, lady 94, 220, now 5, 220, now 5, 220, now 5, right here, 220, now 5, and a mighty 5, 225, 225, 30, 5, 235, 40, 245, 245, 50, 255, 260, now 5, 5, 260, Tom 3, Tom 3. 7 here, $3, now 5, $3, now 5, money, 5 and 10, 15, 20, 5, 330, 5, 335, now 7.5, 40, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 350, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 60, 2.5, 365, 7.5, 70, 2.5, 5, 75, 375, 7.5, 80, 380, 80, 377.5. Fry number 39, Fry 39, heifer 290, now 5, 295, $3 now 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5, 40, 340, 40, 35, 40, 40, 40, 40, 335. Nolan, Fox number 16, Fox 16. 145, 47, 145, 47, 145, 7, 47, 9, 51, 53, 53, 5, 55, 57, 157, 9, $59, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, Now 61, 159, Marty, number 44, Marty 44. Charlie, 330, now 5. 330, now 5. 5, money, 5, 45, 55, 60, 5, 375, and 80, 5, 90, 5, 405, 405, $5, 5, 10, 10, 10, 10, 15, 415, 15, 20, 420, 420, 420, 415, lady, number 94, lady, 94. 7 hair, 170, now 5, 170, now 5, $70, now 5. Okay, herd sell out. There's several of them. So got some pairs. 170, now 5. 170 on the money, now 5. 175. 80, 80, 180. 175, 80, 80, 180, 180, 175. Javier, 27. Javier, 27. 70, 270, now 5, 270, now 5, money 5, 85, 95, $3 now 5, 305, now 10, 10, 10, 3, 5, 7 half, 305, 307 half, 7 half, 7 half, 7 half, 307 half, 305, gully 6, gully number 6, 305, gully 6. 7 here, 150, now $2 tea, $150 tea, on the money, $2 tea, $52, 152, $2, $2, $2, $4, $6, $8, 58, 62, 4, 6, 168, 168, $8, $8, $8, 166, Marty, 33. Two more, pick till you like. It's half and half, 230, now 2.5, 230, 2.5, money, 2.5, 32.5, now 5, now 7.5, now 40, now 2.5, 7.5, 52, 52.5, 252.5, that's on two of them, 55, 255, 7.5, $60, 2.5, now 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2 bet, 2.5, 5, 65, 260, 2.5, show number 6. Seven here, 220, now 5. 220, now 5. Money, 530, 545, 55, 65, 265, 260, now 5. 260, now 5. 555, 70, 5, 80, 5, 295, 95, 295, 290, and that'll be D&D 93, D&D 93. Mark for ownership. I got a pretty good right here. 270, now 2.5. 270, 2.5, 7.5, 80, 2.5, 80, 2.5, 87, 287, 90, 2.5, 90, 2.5, now 5, 95, 97, 97, $3, $3, 2.5, 5, 305, 305, 302 and a half, 555, 305, 302 and a half, Troy 7. You're 50, now 2.5. On the money, 2.5, but it's 7.5, $60, 2.5, 7.5. 267, 70, 2.5, but a 5, but it's 7.5, 80, but 82 and a 5, 87, 90, 29, 2.5, 97 and a half, $3, but 2.5, 302 and a half, 302 and a half, 302 and a half, 302 and a half, 2.5, 2.5, $3, D&D 93. 7 and a half, 260, now 2.5. On number 5, but a 2.5, 5, 7, 70, 2.5, 7, 82 and a 5, 7, 90, 2.5, 295, 95, 97 and a half, $3, but $3, $3, $3, $3, $3, 297 and a half, Gully 6. Sell the black one, 340, now 5. 340 on the money, now 5, but the black one, 340, now 5. 340, now 5. 50, 5, 60, 5, 70, 375, 80, 85, and 90, 5, $4 now 5, 10, 10, 15, 15, 15, 15, 20, 5, 425, 25, 25, 30, 35, 40, 450, 50, 50, 445. Lady number 94, Lady 94. 290, now 5. 290, now 5, but 290, now 5. 290 on the money, now 5, but 95, 95, 3, but 310, but 18, 315, 310, 15, 15, 315, 315, 310, D&D 94, D&D 94. Buy what you like. $3 now 5. Your choice. $3 now 5. 10. $10. 10. 35. 10. 15. 20. 30. 335. 340 now 5. And 50. 360. 5. 370. 80. 85. 390. 90. 90. 90. 35. 90. 95. 95. 95. $4. $4. $5. 4 5 10 10 10 $10 10 10 405 Russell number 3 Russell 3 Russell 3 7 here 7 270 now 5 270 now 5 270 now 5 at a 270 now 5 275 80 5 90 5 $3 5 3 of 5 $300 5 5 5 3 5 10 10 10 $310 $10 $10 10 305 Russell 3 Russell 3 Tiny bit of blue spot, 330 now 5, 330 now 5, and then 5, and then put money 5, 40 with the 5, and then 345, 50, 355, 355, 55, 55, 55, 55, 350 Troy number 11. Little dried out heifer by the head. By the head, 425, 450. By the head, 425. On the money, 50. 425, 450. 450, 425, $50, 50, 75. 500, 500, $500, $500, $500, $500, 500. 475 by the head, Tom 3. All right, sell one big one, big one. 290 now 5, 290 now 5, 290 now 5, money 5, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 330 now 5, now 40, now 5, now 50, now 5, 355, 355, 355, 355, 350, H37, 330 now 5, 335, 40 now 5, 55, 60, now 5, now 70, 375, 375, 80, 80, 85, 85, 90, 95, 395, $4, $4 now 5, 4, 5, 10, 10, 15, 15, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5, 40, 5, 445, 50, 450, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 445, Russell 3. Okay, Porter cattle, Fort Stockton. Gerald Porter. Okay, deal's long on heifers, boys. Okay, got 3 family members divided up, all the same cattle. $3 now 5, $3 now 5, $3 on the money now 5, money stand now 5, $3 now 5, 10, 3 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5, 40, 5, 350 now 5, now 60, 5, 70, 375, 375, 370 now 5, 80, 80, 80, 380, 85, 85, 85, 90, 90, 95, 395, $4, 5, $4, 5, 10, 4, 10, 15, 15, 15, 20, 420, 420, 415, now 20, now 20, now 20, 420, 415, Lady 9-3. All right, boys, lay our dry down, do it all. $3 now 5, $3 on the money 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5, 40, now 5, 50, now 5, 365, 70, 70, 365, 75, 80, 80, 85, 90, 390, now 5, now $4, $4, 5, 405, $405, $5, 10, 410, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, $405, 10. She goes 405, 410, 415, 415, 410, 415, 410, 415, 415, 15, 415, 410, Lady 93. All right. $3 now five. $3 now five. $3 on the money now five. 10 and the minimum 15. 15. 15 with 3. 15 20 now five. 325 30 now five. But the minimum 40 with the 3 out 40. 335 45 and the minimum 45 50 with the 350 now five. But the 55 360 with the 5 with the 365 70 with the 70 370 370 370 365 Troy 3. They are weaned and dried out, ready to go. 310, I 15, 310. Oh, when everybody, 310, 315, 310, on money, 15, with a bit of 20, with a bit of 5, with a bit of 320, now 530, 330, now 5, 335, 40, 340, now 5, with a bit of 550, with a bit of 350, now 5, 355, 60, with a bit of 5, with a bit of 70, with a bit of 375, 375, 55, and a minimum 75, 80, with a 80, with a 5, with a 85, 385, 90, 5, with a 95, 5, with a 4.5, 405, 410, 10, 15, with a bit of 15, 20, with a bit of 425, 425, 420. Now 530, 430, 430, 430, 425, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 430, 425, Lady 94. $340 now 5, $340 now 5, money 5, but $340 now 5, $340 now 5, and $40 now 5, $50, $350 now 50 now 5, $355, $360 with a bit of 5, but $70 with a 5, but $380 with a bit of 5, but $85, $385, $90, $90, but $95, but $95, $4, but $4, $4, $4, 5, but $4, 5, 10, $45, 10, 15, with a 15, 20, with a bit of 425, but $30, with a bit of 430, 5, but a bit of 440, with a bit of 5, but a bit of about 445, 445, 445, 440, Lady 94. Gonna hold one, gonna hold two head. 370 now 5, and a 370 now 585. Now a 90, but a bit of 5, 95, $4, 5, but a 10, but a 15, but a bit of 20, but a bit of 5, but a bit of 425, 425, 30, but a bit of 5, but a bit of 435, 40, 445, 440, now 5, 50, but a bit of 455, 455, 55, 65, but a bit of 70, but 5, but a bit of 475, 475, 75, 75, 470, Troy number 2, Troy 2. 7 here, 330, now 5, 330, now 5, 40, 5, 55, 65, 75, 8, 375, 80, 85, 90, 5, $4, 5, 4, 5, 10, 4, 10, 15, 20, 420, 425, 425, 30, 430, 30, 30, 30, 430, now 5, 435, 430, now 5, 5, 435, 430, Russell 3, Russell 3. Sell bull, black bull. 7 here, $3 now 5, bull calf. $3 now 5, money 5, $3 now 5. $3 now 5, 5, 1 bull calf. 10, $10, 15, 20, 325. 330, now 5, 40, 5, 45. 345, 5, 50, 55. 355, 350, Troy 5, Troy 5. Over there, $2.50 now 5, $2.50 now 5. On the money 5, $2.55, $2.55, 5, 60, now 5, now 75, 80, 5, 90, 5, 95, 295, 95, $3, $5, $3, 5, 10, 3, 10, 15, 15, 20, 5, 330, 5, 40, 40, 340, 340, 335, Lady 94. Gray Ranch. Okay, boys, up between 65 days, had 2 rounds of 7-way and caliber 7 and triangle 5. 345, now 50, 345, now 50, on the money 55, 355, 365, 70, 5, 80, 5, 90, 90, 385, 90, 90, 90, 85, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 390, 385, now to be Troy 3. Same cattle wing, 65 days, 2 rounds of shots. 370, now 5 at 370 on the mighty 580, 85 and a 90, but a bit of a 5, but a bit of a $4, but a bit of a 5, but a bit of a 10, but a bit of a 15, but a bit of a 4, 15, 20, 420, now 5, now 25, but a bit of a 420, now 5, 425, 25, 25, 25, 25, 420, Troy 4. Two more, pick T like 7.5, 380, now 5, 380, now money 595, but a bit of a $4, but a bit of 5, but a bit of 10, but a bit of a 15, but a bit of a 4, 15, 20, 420, now 5, but a bit of a 420, now 5, 425, 25, 25, 25, 25, 420, Troy 2. 340, now 5, 340, now 5, money 5, 345, 340, now 5, 50, bit of 5, bit of 60, bit of 5, bit of 70, now 5, 80, bit of 5, bit of 390, 5, bit of $4, 5, 405, $5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, bit of $4, 5, $4, Troy 2. Heifer 7.5, 380, now 5, 380, now 5, money 5, but a bit of 85, 90, but a bit of 5, but a bit of $4, but a bit of 5, but a bit of 10, 410, 15, 20, but a bit of 5, but a bit of 425, 420, now 5, but a bit of 25, 25, 25, 25, 420, Troy 11. That one big one, 7.5, $3.95, $3 money, 5, but a bit of 10, 15, 20, but a bit of 5, but a 330, but a bit of 30, 325, 30, 30, 30, 33, 33, 30, 325, Simpson 35. 7.5, $4 now 5, $4 on the money 5, 10, 15, 20, with a bit of 420, 415, now 20, 20, 20, with a 5, 30, with a bit of 5, and a 45, and a 50, with a 5, and a 60, with a bit of 465, 470, with a bit of 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 465, D&D 31. Over there, $7.5, $3 now 5, $3 now 5, money 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 335, 335, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 330, Troy 1. One's got a crooked nose. 7.5, $2 now 5, $2 now 5, $2 now 5, $2 now 5, 5, 5, and a $2 now 5, 5, 5. On the money now 5, $2 now 5, 205, 205, 10, $210, 10, 15, 20, 220, now 5, 230, 235, 240, but a bit of 5, but a bit of 45, 245, 245, 240, Tom 3. Same cattle. 280, now 2.5, 295, 7.5, 90, 2.5, 95, 95, 97.5, now $3, 2.5, 3.7.5, 3.7.5, 3.7.8, 10, 310, 10, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 15, 3, 15, 17.5, 317.5, 20, in the middle, 320, 20, 20, 17, 20, 320, 320, 320, 317.5, Simpson 37. 7.5, $2 now 5, $2 on the money 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, and 40, with a 5, and 50, 255, 60, 5, and 260 now 5, 265, 5, 5, and 5, 260, Nolan 27. O'Hara, they're on your pass out. Okay, had Triangle 5 and co-vaccinate. 290 now 5, 290 now 5, 290 on the money 5, 295, $3, 5, 10, 15, 20, now 5, now 30, now 5, now 40, 345, 55, 65, 70, 375, 85, 90, 5, $4 now 5, 10, $410, 10, 45, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, $10, 10, 405, D&D 31. Tommy Neal, Wayne 30 days, had a 7-way shot worm with sidectin. 350 now 5, 350 now 5, 6 money 5, but about 355, 5, 5, 350 now 5, but about 355, 5, 5, 355, 355, 355, 355, 55, 55, 55, 350, Troy 11. 350, Troy 11.
12 head. Car gone.
Okay, starting on Cargon. And round the shots on the cows. IBR and blackleg. Okay, bigger set of steers right behind them. Okay, buying 12 in the first deal. 340 now 2.5, 340 now 2.5, 340 now 2.5, money 2.5, 5, 45, 7.5, 347 half, 350, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 5, 357 half, 357 half, 7 half, 7 half, 355, 7 half, 357 half, 7 half, 7 half, 7 half, 7 half, 357 half, 357 half, 355, Troy 25. All right, 14 head of them. 310, 12 and a half, 310, 312 and a half, 310, 312 and a half, money, 12 and a half, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 17 and a half, 317 half, 17 half, 20, 20, 22 and a half, 320, 2 and a half, 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 5, 7 half, 327 half, 330, 30, 32 and a half, 332 and a half, 330, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, 35, 5, 7 half, 337 half, 337 half, 40, 40, 348, 49, 348, 49, 348, 349, 348, 30, 49, 50, 350. Wasn't that right? 37 half, 38. We'll go from there. 38, 39, 40, 341, 342, 342, 343, 343, 343, 343, 342. Simpson 65. Simpson 65. Got two steers, 280, now 2.5, 280, 2.5, 85, 87, 90, 2.5, 97, $3, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 37.5, 305, 37, 10, 3 and 10, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 3, 12.5, 3, 12.5, 310, fry 70, fry 70. Hell, the bull 270 now 2.5, 5, 2.5, 5, 275, 75, 7.5, 80, 2.5, 85, 85, 7.5, 290, 2.5, 2.9, 2.5, 95, 95, 7.5, 297 half, $3, $3, $2.5, 302 and a half, 5, 305, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 305, 7.5, 307 half, 307 half, 305, capital 31. 20 head of heifers. Two-way kind here. $20 head of them. 320 now 5, 320 now 5, 320 now 5, money 5, 320 now 5, 320, 2.5, 2.5, 320, 2.5, 325, 327 half, 327 half, 7 half, 30, 330, 330, 2.5, 330, 25, 35, 35, 37 half, 337 40, 340, 340, 2.5, 42 half, 2.5, 345, 7 half, 347 half, 7 half, 7 half, 345, 7 half, 47 half, 347 half, 347 half, 7 half, 7 half, 7 half, 7 half, 345, Russell number 5. All right, new deal. Had Pyramid 5 and pre-response 8-way with Somnus. Steers 7 half, 370 now 5, 370 money 5, 370 now 5, 80, 80, 80, 85, 85, 90, 390, 95, 95, $4, 5, 10, 410, 10, 10, 10, 10, 7, 8, 10, 410, 10, 10, 7, 8, 10, 10, 10, 10, 407 and a half, Troy 3, 4. Troy 4, 316 now 5, 316 now 5, on the mighty 5, 70, 55, 80, 385, 385, 85, 82 and a half, 382 and a half, 2 and a half, 380, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 380, Troy 5, Troy 5. Put him on Troy 25, put him on Troy 25. Sell one big one, one big one. To the big one, 390, now 5. 390, now 5, at 95. 95, money 5. 395. Selling the big one. 95. $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $5, 405, 510, $10, $10, 4, 5, 10, 45, 10, 15, 15, 15, 20, 425, 425, 430, 30, 30, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 430, Troy 4, little one here, 440, now 5, 440, now 5, 440, on money 5, 440, now 5, 450, 55, 60, 55, 75, 475, 470, now 5, 555, 470, D&D 31, D&D 31, sell the big one, 360, now 5, and mighty 5, 70, 5, 80, 5, 90, 5, 95, 395, 390, now 5, 95, 95, 95, 95, 390, capital number 92, capital 92, 390, now 5, 95, 95, $4, $4, now 5, 4, 5, 10, $10, 15, 20, 420, now 5, now 30, now 30, 435, 40, 445, 445, 550, 50, 50, 50, 450, 454, 54, 54, 50, 445, Solis. 320 and now 5, 320 on money 5, 30, 2.5, 3, 30, 2.5, 330, 2.5, 5, 32 and a half, 5, you do it, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 330, 25, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 335, 37 and a half, 337 and a half, 337 and a half, 335, D&D 26. Two big ones have had a subway shot. 330, now 5. 2 big ones, 330, now 5. On the money, 5, 330, now 5. 335, 40, 40, 345, 340, now 5. 340, capital number 34. 360, now 5. 360, now 5. Money, 5. 365. 360, now 5. 70, 375. 375, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75. 370, D&D 35. Oh, the tag. You do not get the tag. $7 or $3 now 5. $3 now 5. Money 5. $3 now 5. 10. $10 now 10. 15. 315 now 20. 320. 320. 20. 20. 70 now 20. 320. 20. 20. 378. 22 and a half. 320. 2 and a half. 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 320. 2 and a half. 5. 25. 25. 27 and a half. 7 and a half. 327 and a half. 325. Capital number 34. 250 now 5. 250 now 2 and a half. 250 now 2 and a half. 2 and a half. 2 and a half. Money 5. 7 and a half. $60 2 and a half. 65. 7 and a half. 70 2 and a half. 5 7 and a half. 80. 280 2 and a half. 85. 85. 285. 7 and a half. 287 and a half. 287 and a half. 87 and a half. 87 and a half. 285. Capital number 31. Hold it just a minute, Jody. We're good. Heifer over there, 290 now 5. 290 on money 5. $3 with a 5 with a 10 with a 15, 20 with a 5 with a 30 with a 5 with a 335, 40 with a 340, 335, 40, 40, 40, 340, 335, fry 30, 49, fry 49, 7 or $3 now 5, money 5 with a $3 now 5, 10, 310, 15, 20 with a bit of 5 with a 30 with a bit of 5 with a bit of 335, 335, 35, 35, 35, 35, 330, D&D 26. Okay, Tickle Cattle from Lake Ivy had 2 rounds of Covexin 8. Ben Wayne, 2 rounds of Covexin 8. Silver Black Bull. 320 now 5. Money 5. 325, 30. 5. 335. 335. 32 and a half. 2 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 and a half. 330. Troy 5. Set short here, 350 now 5, money 5. Yeah. Six horse, 350 now 5, money 5, 355, high 5, 60, 70, 375, 375, 80, 80, 85, 85, 90, 90, 90, 90, 395, 95, 95, $4, $4, 405, 10, 10, 10, 15, 20, 5, 425, 30, 5, 40, 440, 440, 440, 435, lady 94, lady 94, 330, now 5, 330, now 5, 40, 335, 335, money 5, 335, 35, 35, 35, 330, lady 94, lady 94, lady 94. Okay, hold the small one. 310, 15, 25, 30, 330, 2.5, 330, 2.5, 35, 30, 2.5, 335, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 335, 330, 2.5, Troy number 1. Okay, 330, now 5, money 5, 330, now 5, 330, now 5, 40, 5, 50, 5, 360, 5, 70, 5, 80, 5, 85, 385, 380, 5, 5, 85, 380, D&D 4. 230, now 2.5, 230, now 2.5, 7.5, 40, 2.5, 45, 47.5, 250, 2.5, 55, 57.5, $60, 2.5, 60, 7.5, 70, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 80, 2.5, 85, 87.5, 90, 2.5, 5, 97.5, $3, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, 310, 12.5, 12.5, 15, 15, 17.5, 320, 17.5, 79, 79, 79, 315, D&D number 26, D&D 26. 280, now 5, 280, money 5, 95, $3, 2.5, 7, 10, 12, 310, 37.5, 310, 7, 8, $10, $10, $10, 12, 312.5, 15, 79, 379, 317.5, 79, 315, D&D 26. Okay, win the cup, win 2 weeks, and I had 2 rounds of Boba Shield Gold and 1 round of Blackleg and Vision 7. 250 and 5, 250 money 5, 65, 75, 80, even about 290, 80, about 290, about 85, 285, 90, about 90, 90, 90, 290, 290, about 285, 90, 90, about 90, 285, Shoat 6. Black Bally, old deal, goes with her. 110, 15, on the money, 15, 20, 120, now 5, now 30, now 5, now 40, now 5, 150, 155, 160, 165, 70, 170, 70, 70, 75, 175, 175, 175, 175, 170, Marty, 44. Have a kind, 270, now 5, 270, now 5, money 5, 80, 55, 90, 5, $3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 320, 315, 25, 30, 330, now 5, 335, 40, 340, 340, 340, 340, 335, H37. All right, Johnson cattle from El Dorado had a 8-way shot. 260, now 5, on the money 5, 260, now 570, now 5, 80, 285, 285, 90, 90, 5, 295, 95, 95, $3, $3, now 5, 305, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 305, 310, 310, 310, 310, 310, 305, Fry 70. Okay, sell 3 head, 3 head, 3 head. 7.5, 340 now 5, 340 now 5, money 550, 355, 355, 60, 5, 365, 370, 70, 2.5, 2.5, 370, 2.5, 2.5, 5, 5, 7.5, 377, 80, 380, 80, 380, 380, 380, 380, 380, 377.5, Simpson 65. 320 now 5, 320, 2.5, money 2.5, 320, 2.5, 320, 2.5, but a 295, but a 25, 27.5, 327.5, but a 30, but a 330, 2.5, but a 32, 2.5, 35, 35, 335, 335, 335, 332.5, Simpson 65. 240 now 5, 245, money 555, 65, but a 75, but a 275, 270 now 5, but a 275, 275, 278, 71. $7.5, $3 now, 2.5, 302.5, 2.5, 2.5, money 2.5, 302.5, 5, but 305, 3.7, 10, 10, 10, 10, 12.5, 15, 315, 79, 79, 79, 379, 379, 379, 315, capital 94. Hollick. Hollick ranch cattle from Wall. 18 in the first deal. Came in yesterday. You're buying 18 S steers. 335, now 40, 335, money 45, and I'm 45, and I'm 45, 42 and a half, 342 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, but a 347 and a half, 350, with about 50, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 357 and a half, but about 57 and a half, 360, 2 and a half, but about 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 360, 2 and a half, 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 360, 2 and a half, but about 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 361. 361, 361, 361, that one out to go, 361, 360, Troy, 25 on 18 and 18 of them. Okay, 10 more of them, same cattle, Hollick Ranch. 380, now 5, 380, now 5, 380 on the money, now 5, 85, 82, now 5, 85, 85, 87, 387, 90, 90, 90, 92 and a half, 395, 95, 97 and a half, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $397.5. Simpson 34. All right, big end of 9 in. They got him pretty good right here. 320, now 2.5, 320, 2.5, 2.5, money, 2.5, now 5, 25, 25, 7.5, 327.5, 30, 330, 30, 30, 330, 2.5, 2.5, 25, 35, 35, 35, 33, 34, 333, 34, 333, 34, 333, 34, 333, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 333, Simpson 65. Heifer mates. You'll like them. 315, 79, 315, 79, money, 79, 20, 20, 2.5, 320, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 320, 2.5, 320, 2.5, 5, 25, 25, 25, 22, 5, 325, 7.5, 327, 330, 330, 30, 330, 330, 330, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 5, 5, 35, 335, 7.5, 337, 40, 340, 340, 340, 340, 340, 337 and a half. Cliffy, number 6. Cliffy, number 6. $345, 47 and a half, $345, money 7.5, $50, $350, $350, 2.9, 2.9, 2.9, 2.9, 55, 55, 7.5, $357 and a half, $360, 2.9, 2.9, 2.9, 2.9, $360, 2.5, 2.9, 2.9, 5, 5, $360, 2.5, 5, 3, 4, $360, 3, 4, now 5, now 365, 366, 366, not about a second, 6, 367, 7, not a 7, not a 7, not a 7, not a 7, 8, 368, not 8, not 8, not 8, not 8, 368, 367, 8, now 9, now 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 369, 70, 370, 370, 377, 370, 371, 1, 370, down 1, 1, 371, 371, 2, 372, 372, 371, Troy 3. See, 316 now 5, 360 on the money, 575 and 80, 85, 90, 390 now 5, 95, 95, 92 and a half, 392 and a half, 392 and a half, 2 and 5, 95, 95, 395, 7 and a half, 397 and a half, 397 and a half, $4, 397 and a half, Troy 3, Troy 3. 330 now 5, 330 now 5, and money 5, 330 now 5, 330 now 5, 35, 35, 330 capital number 34. Okay, two little ones there. 7 and a half, 390 now 5, 390 now 5, 95, $4 now 5, 10, 15, 415, 20, 5, 425, 30, 430, 430 now 5, 435, 435, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 430, Troy 4. $230 now 5, $230 now 5, money 5, $235, $230 now 5, $235, 40, 50 now 5, $255, $255, 60, $260 now 5, $265, 70 now 5, $80, $285, $85, $85, $285, $285, $285, $285, $285, $280, Gully 6, Gully 6. All right, Schonfeld, boys waiting 60 days and add Ivomac. 260 now 5, 260 on the money 5, 5, 260 now 5, 2.5, 5, 7, 70, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 270, 7.5, 80, 2.5, 80, 25, 85, 7.5, 90, 290, 2.5, 95, 97, 7.5, $3, $3, $3, $3, $3, $297.5, Fry 70, Fry 70. Mark for ownership. Boys, they have been weaned 6 weeks. 360 now 575, 85, 90, 390, 85, 90, 90, 85, 90, 90, 90, 385, 90, 90, 90, 90, 385 D&D 35. Same way, weaned 6 weeks. Hey, 70, 330, now 5, 45, 55, 65, 70, 70, 75, 75, 370, now 5, 370, now 5, 370, capital 92, cap 92. Head same way shot. 290, now 5, 195, money, 5 at a $3, 5, 10, but a 15, 315, 315, 20, but a 20, 320, 315, now 20, 20, 20, but a 320, 320, 320, 315, D and D 54. Turn 380 now 5, 380 now 5, 385, 85, 85, 95, but a 90, but a 5, but a $4, $4 pie, 405, $405, $5, $5, $4, capital number 45. Turn 90 now 5, money 5, but a 90 now 5. Turn 90 5, $3 now 5, but a 5, but a $3 now 5, 5, 5, 5, 10, 10, 10, 3, 10, 15, but about 15, 15, 15, 15, 3, 10, 3, 15, 3, 10, 3, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 3, 10, Nolan 75.
It's Jacob Kelly. He wrote them. I know he did.
Okay, cocks her head a little bit. X roping key. $2 now 5. Cocks head a little bit. On money now 5. 205, 205, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5. 235, 40, now 5, 245, 250, 250, now 5, 255, 60, 260, 255, 65, 70, 5, 80, 285, 285, 85, 85, 90, 90, 90, 90, 290, 290, 290, 285, lady number 93.
Foster Ranch.
Hey, boys, they've been weaned 90 days, had 2 rounds of IBR and respiratory. Hold 1 if they do, hold 1. 340 now 5. 340 now 5. Money 5. Holding 150. 355. 360. 5. 70. 75. 75. 80. 80. 80. 380. 375. 80. 80. 7.5. 80. 380. 380. 380. 380. 377 and a half. Troy 3. Troy 3. 7.5, $3 now 5, $3 on the money 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 340, 330, 540, 40, 40, 340, 340, 340, 40, 335, 549. Heifer $3 now 5, $3 now 5, money 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5, 40, 340, 335, 40, 40, 45, 45, 50, 355, 355, 60, 65, 365, 360, capital 90. $330. Hold one, 330 on money 5, 330. You're buying 2 head. 335, 40, 340 now 5, now 50 now 5, 355, 350 now 5, 60, 5, 70 now 5, 375, 295, 375, 370, 2.5, Troy 3. $2 now 5, $2 now 5, money 5, $2 now 5, 10, 10, 15, 20, 5, 230, 230, 230, 25, 30, 225, 30, 30, 30, 30, 230, 30, 30, 230, 225, Javier 27. 2 or more. 7.5, $3 now 5, $3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 330, 55, 40, 55, 50, 355, 355, 365, 65, 370, 70, 365, capital 90. 150, now 5. 160, now 5, now 70, now 5, now 80, 180, 185, 190, 195, 195, 190, but about 5. $2, $2, $2, 5. 205, 205, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 210, 210, 210, 210, 210, 210, 205, Javier, 27. Okay, Spring Ranch cattle from Ballinger. They have been weaned 70 plus days and on a VAC 60 program. Okay, 30. Okay, 30-something head, all steers. Okay, boys, you hold the black if you need to. Win 70 plus days and on a VAC 60 program. 330. Hold the black if you need to. 330. Now 2.5. 332. Money 2.5. 2.5. 2.5. 2.5. 2.5. 5. 35. 35. 37.5. 337.5. 40. 340. 2.5. 340. 2.5. 2.5. 2.5. 45. 45. 7.5. 7.5. 340. 7.5. 50. 350. 50. 2.5. 2.5. 2.5. 2.5. 55. 355. 7.5. 357.5. 60. 360. 2.5. 360. 2.5. 2.5. 1 2. 360. 1 2. 2 2 3. 363, 4, 365, 6, 7, 368, $8, $9, $9, 70, 370, 371, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 374, 5, 374, Simpson, 60. Should be 16 head. You're buying 16 of them. 340, now 2.5, 340 on the money, 2.5, and 340, 25, 45, 45, 45, 7.5, 3, 47, 53, 50, 350, 50, 50, 50, 2.5, 350, 2.5, 5, 355, 55, 7.5, 357, 360, 60, 2.5, 360, 2.5, now 5, 7.5, 367, 367, 368. 369, 369, 99, 70, 371, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 375, 5, 5, 4, 9, 5, 9, 5, 9, 5, 375, 375, 374, Troy, 25. Okay, sell 3 head, 3 head, 3 head. 360, now 2.5, 360. You're buying 3 head. 360, 2.5, money, 2.5. 360, 2.5, 5. 360, 5, 7.5. 370, 70, 70, 2.5, 5. 375, 2.5, 5, 5, 7.5. 377, 80. 380, 80, 80. 380, 380, 2.5, 2.5, 25, 85, 85, 85, 87, 387, 90, 90, 90, 2.5, 390, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. 390, Troy, 4. 320, now 5. 320, now 5. 320 on the money, now 5. 320, now 5. 320, now 5. 30, 330, now 5. 40, 5, 50, 350, 350, 350, 5, 355, 60, 365, 70, 70, 370, 370, 370, 365, Troy, 5. 7.5, same good cattle, 280, 2.5. 280, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 280, 2.5, 280, now 2.5, 280, 2.5. 2 money, 2.5, 7.5, 90, 2.9, 2.95, 95, 97.5, $3, 2.5, 302 2.5, 302 2.5, 302 2.5, 2.9, 2.9, 2.9, 2.5, $3 fry, 70. All right, Wesley Schaefer cattle. The boys have been weaned a month and had a 7-way shot. Sell 2 little ones. Sell 2 little ones. 390, now 5. 390 on them 5. $4, $4, now 5, now 10, now 15. About 20, 420, 20, 25, 425, 425, 25, 25, 25, 25, about 425, 420, Gully 1. Forehead, Gully 1. Same good cattle, two big ones, two big ones, two big ones. $4, now five, $4 on the money, now 5, 10, 4, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5, 40, 4, 45, 50, 4, 50, now 50, now 50, now 50, 45, $50, $50, 450, 450, 450, 450, 445 balloon. 7 here, 440, now 5. 440 on money, now 5, and a 55, a 65, and a 75, 80, 55, and a 490, 95, 495, $5, $5, $5, $5, $5, $5, $5, 495 balloon. Brent Hoffman. All right, boys, had triangle 5 and Cole Vexen 8. Wayne Cattle. 250, now 2.5, 250, money, 2.5, 55, 7.5, 257.5, 260, 2.5, and a 5, and a 7.5, 70, 2.5, 5, and a 7.5, and a 277.5, 275, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 80, 280, 82.5, 5, 85, 87.5, 287.5, 287.5, 285, D and H 71, H 71. Seven here, 250, now 2.5, 250, now 295, 7.5, $60, 2.5, 5, 67, 70, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 80, 2.5, 85, 87.5, 290, 2.5, 95, 97.5, $3, 2.5, 35, 37.5, 10, 12.5, 15, 79, 379, 379, 379, 379, 315, D and D 26. Sell a big steer, good one, yearling, $2 now 40, now 2.5, 2.45, 7.5, 50, 2.5, 55, 7.5, $60, 2.5, but it's 7.5, 70, 2.5, now 5, 7.5, but it's 277.5, 275, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 275, Nolan 77. 7 here, 250, now 5. 250, now 5. Money 5, 65, 75, at about 275. 270, now 5, at a 275, 5, 5, 5, at a 75. 270, Shoat, number 6. Mark for ownership, number family member. 270, now 580, but a 285, but a 90, but a 5, but a $3, but a $3, 295, $3, but a $3, now 5, but a 5, but a 7.5, 10, 312 and a half, 315, 379, 317, 315, 379, 79, 315, D and D 26. D and D 26. 7.5, 150, now 2. 150 $2 T, 150 on the money, $2, $4, $6, but about 56, 8, 158, 160, with a bit of 60, $160, 60, with a 58, 60, 160, 160, now 60, now 2, $2, $2, $2, $2, $4, $4, 162, 4, 4, 4, with a bit of 4, 162, Tom 5. 7 here, 280, now 5. 280 on the money, 595, but it's 95. $3, but about 5, but about 10. 310, 310, but about $10. 12 and a half, 312 and a half, 15. 315, 79, 20, but a 320, 320, 379, 20, 2 and a half, 320, 2 and a half, 25, 25, 325, 2 and a half, 85, 5, 5, 5, 5, but about 5. 322 and a half, Gully 6. Ritter Cattle, Wayne 60 days, had a round pre-response and 2 rounds of Vision 7 and Triangle 5. 316, now 5, 316, now 5. On the money, now 5, 570, 5, 80, 5, 385, 85, 85, 85, 85, 382, 92, 92, 92, 382, 380. Troy 4. Boys, Wayne, 2 rounds shots. You like them. 340, now 5. 340 on the money. 555, but a 355, 65, but a 75, but a 80, but a 85. 390, 90, 90, 85, 95, 95, $4. $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, 395. Gully 1, Gully number 1. 7.5, 330, now 5, 330 on the money, 5, 40, 5, 50, 355, 355, 360, 5, 70, 5, 375, 370, Troy, 3. All right, Wayne, 3 months and wormed. 280, now 5, 280 on the money, 590, $5, $3, $5, 3 and 5, 3 and 5, 3 and 5, 302 and a half, 302 and a half, 292 and a half, 302 and a half, 292 and a half, 292 and a half, 292 and a half, $3 gully, 6. All right, Wilford Wildy. Wayne 15 days, had co-vaccinate, triangle 4 plus PHK. Boys, Wayne had co-vaccinate and triangle 4. 2 ball face, 310, now 12 and a half, 12 and a half, money, 12 and a half, 15, 315, 17 and a half, 20, 320, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a 5, 5, 7 and a half, 327 and a half, 330, 30, 30, 30, 330, 330, 330, 330, 330, 330, 330, 327 and a half, Simpson 65. 7. Okay, can be 3 head of them. 7, 3 head. On the scale. Okay, so let's do it here. 7 head, 290, now 5, 290 on money 5, 295, $3, now 5, now 10, now 10, 10, 10, 310, 310, $10, 10, 10, 10, 10, $10, $10, 10, 10, 305, fry 70. Give me Glenn. Fry 70. Look him over there, Wayne, and 2 round of shots. 360, now 5. 360 on money 5, and it was 65, 75, 80, 85, 85, 90, 90, 90, 390, now 5, 395, 95, 95, now $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $4, $405, 405, 405, 10, 410, $10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, about $10, $10, 10, 405, Troy, 4. Okay, you're buying all black, 320, now 5, money 5, 320, now 5, and 3 blacks, 325, 30, 330, now 5, 335, 40 with a 340, 340, 7 half, 42 and a half, 342 and a half, 5, 347 and a half, 350 with a 350, 352 and a half, 52 and a half, 55, 55, 5, 7 and a half, 357 and a 60, 360 with a 60, 360, 360, 360, 360, 357 and a half, capped on 90. 7 head, 290, now 5. 290 on money, now 5, now 3, now 5, now 10, now 15, 320, now 5, but a 330, 5, 40, bit of 5, bit of 50, bit of 350, 345, now 50, now 5, 355, 360, 360. Have the red if you want it. 355, 360, 360, 360, 360, 355, that'll be Fry, 49. He wants the red. He wants the red. 7 right here, 320, now 5, 320, now 5, 325, 30, 330, now 5, now 40, now 5, 345, 345, 50, 350, 350, now 5, 355, 5, 5, but about 60, 360, 5, but about 5, 70, but 375, but about 80, 380, 80, 80, but 380, 375, capital 92. Okay, had a co-vaccinate shot. Sell the black heifer. 310, 315, 310, money, 15, 20, 5, 30, 40, 5, 350, 355, 360, 70, 375, 375, 370, capital 92, 90, cap 90. Over there, $4.95 on steer, $4.95, 10, 10, 10, 4, 5, down 10, 45, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 430, 540, 440, now 5, 45, 50, 450, 455, 460, 5, 70, 470, 470, 470, 470, 470, 470, 465, D&D 31. Steer 350, now 5, money 5, 355, 360, 5, 70, 5, 80, 5, 85, 385, 8. How big one go right along if you want? 380, 95, 385, 385, 90, 390, 90, 90, 85, 90, 90, 90, 90, 390, 390, 390, 380, 95, 95. How big one if you want? 395, $4, $4.05, 405, 405, 405, 405, $4 below. You want the big one too? Two head. Thank you. No, he doesn't. No, it's a big one. You could take a big one. Okay, just one head. Sell the big one out. Sell the big one over there. 370.95. 370.95. Money 5. 370.95. Sell the big one. Buy the scale. 375. High five. 75. 75. 75. 370. Troy number 4. Troy 4. Now the little one. 420. Now 5. 420. Now 5. 425. Money 5. 5. 5. 30. With a bit of 5. But a 40. 445, 50, 455, 460, 465, 70, 475, 475, 80, 80, 85, 85, 90, 490, now 5, 495, 95, 95, 95, 495, 490, blue, 490, blue, 490, blue, 7 ahead, 10, 12 and a half, 2, 10, 12 and a half, 10, 12 and a half, 15, 7 and a half, 22 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 230, now 2 and a half, now 5, now 7 and a half, 40, 242 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 50, 252 and a half, 55, 57 and a half, 260, 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 70, 270, 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 80, 80, 280, 280, 280, 270, 7 and a half, Nolan 77, Nolan 77, 7 and a half, 3, 15, 79, 315, 79, money 79, 317 and a half, 79, 15, 79, 317 and a half, 79, 79, 79, 379, 379, 315, capital 94. All right, 7 and a half, 350 now 5, 350 now 5, 350 now 5, 5, 5, 350 now 2 and a half, 350, 2 and a half, 350, 2 and a half, 350, 2 and a half, 330, 2 and a half, 330 now 2 and a half, 95, 35, 35, 35, 337 and a half, 340, 40, 40, 40, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 340, 2 and a half, 40, 2 and a half, 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 340, capital 34, capital 34, capital 34, 7 and a half, 280 now 5, 280 now 5, money 5, 95, but a $3 5, 10, but 15, but a 315, but a 15, 15, 20, but a 20, now 5, 325, 320, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, but a 2 and a half, 320, 2 and a half, 320, capital number 34.
Okay, this is no score.
David Lowen. All right, 7 and a half, 270 now, 2 and a half, 270 on money, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 270, 2 and a half, 5, but 75, 7 and a half, 80, 80, 2 and a half, 85, 87 and a half, 90, but 2 and a half, but 90, 2 and a half, 290, 25, 97 and a half, 97 and a half, $3, 2 and a half, 302 and a half, 302 and a half, 302 and a half, 302 and a half, 309, 2 and a half, $3, capital 31. All right, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 3, 10, 12 and a half, 13, 10, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 3, 10, 12 and a half, 13, 10, 12 and a half, on the money, 12 and a half, 3, 10, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 15, 3, 15, 15, 15, 17 and a half, 20, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 320, 2 and a half, 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 320, capital 34. There's 39 head of these from down on Rock Springs. You like them here? Okay, got to hold 1, 320, now 2 and a half, 320, 2 and a half, money, 2 and a half, 320, 2 and a half, 320, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 320, 25, 25, 25, 27 and a half, 327 and a half, 330, 30, 30, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, 35, 35, 35, 7 and a half, 40, 340, 2 and a half, 5, 347 and a half, 347 and a half, 50, 2 and a half, 350, 2 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 355, 355, 355, 352 and a half, capital number 35. So one by scale, 280, now 5. 280, now 5, and 280. One head, money, 590, 295. 295, 95, 95, 95, 95. 290, Nolan, number 26. 7.5, 305, 307.5, 305, 7.5, 305, 7.5, money, 7, 8, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 312.5, 312.5, 10, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 312.5, 310, capital 31. Okay, hold the biggest one. 375, money, 80, 375, 80, 80, 80, 5, 3 to 5, 85, 90, now 5, now $4, now $4, $4, 4, 395, 405, $405, 510, $410, 10, 15, 415, 15, 20, 420, 415, now 20, now 20, now 5, 25, 25, 25, 30, 430, 430, 430, 430, 30. 427.5, 430, 430, 430, now 2.5, 430, 2.5, 435, 35, 32.5, 435, 435, 435, 435, 432.5, Troy 4. Two bulls over there, $3, now 5. $3, now 5, $3, now 5. 5, money, 5, $3, 5, 3 to 5, 10. $310, $10, $10, $10, 10, 15, 315, 315, 315, 20, but a 320, 2.5, 325, but a 25, 27 and a half, but a 30, but a 2.5, but a 5, 35, 37 and a half, but a 337 and a half, 335, capital number 35. 7.5, 7.5, 110, 112, 110, 112, 14, 16, 18, 20, 246, 128, 128, 128, 128, 26, $8, $8, $8, $8, $8, 126, Marty 44. $335, now 7.5, 330, 7.5, money, 7.5, 40, 2.5, 14.5, 340, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 45, 345, 7.5, 350, 50, 50, 2.5, 355, 357.5, 360, 60, 360, 60, 60, 2.5, 360, 2.5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 367.5, 367.5, 70, 370, 70, 70, 70, 70, 8, 9, 368, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 70. 370, 371, $1, 371, 370, Troy 3. Tell them right here. 370, now 5, 370, now 5, money, 580, 590, 595, 395, 390, 2.5, 390, 290, 290, 290, 290, 290, 290, 290, 390, D&D 3. Okay, make them all black. $3, now 5. $3, now 5. 5, 5, but a 3, money. 5, but a $3, now 5. 3 and 5, $5, $5, 5, 5, but a 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, but a 12 and a half, 15. 315, 79, 79, 379, but a 79, 379, 79, 79, 315, capital 94. 7.5, 290, now 5. 290, now 5. $3, 5, 10, 15, 20, now 5, now 30, now 5. 335, 335, 335, 330, D&D 26. $360, now 5, 360, now money 5, 370, now 5, now 80, now 5, now 90, now 5, but a $4, but a 5, 405, 10, 10, 15, but a 415, 420, 420, 420, 415, 25, 425, 425, 20, 30, 430, 430, 30, now 5, 435, 435, 430, Ritter. Willen Ranch. 49 head of them. Quillen Ranch. Boys, he's got the goods. Look, come over. 290 now 5, 290 now 5, 290 on the money now 5, 95, 95, 290, 2.5, 290, but the bed 2.5, 95, 97 half, 297 half, $3, $3, 2.5, 302 now 5, 305, 5, 7 half, 7 half, 10, 12 and a half, 3, 12 and a half, 15, 17 half. 379, 320, 320, now 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 325, 7.5, 330, 330, now 2.5, 330, 2.5, 330, 2.5, now 5, 35, 337 half, 337 half, 340, 340, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 340, 2.5, 345, 7 half, 347 half, 350, 350, 2.5, 350, 2.5, 52 and a half, 355, 355, 355, 352 and a half, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 355, 355, 355. Sold them 352 and a half. A-L-B-A, isn't it? Ciabatta. 275, 285, and 280, now 595, $3, now 5, but a 10, but a 10, $310, 10, 35, 7 half, now 10, $310, 10, 307 half, 310, 10, 10, 10, 10, but a 10, 307 half, 10, 12 and a half, 312 and a half, 312 and a half, 12 and 11, 12, but a 312, 312, 13, but a 13, 13, 14, 314, 15, but a 15, 15, 16, but a 316, 317, 317, 18, but a 18, 19, 319, 20, 321, 1.1, 321, 1.1, 320, capital 31. Seven here, 270, now 5, money, 580, 5, 285, 285, 90, 290, now 5, 95, 95, 295, $3, $3, $3, $3, 297 and a half, $3, 2 and a half, 302 and a half. 302 and a half, 302 and a half, 292 and a half, 295, 305, 305, 305, 304, 303, 304, 303, 304, 304, 304, 304, 303, fry 70. Sell one big one in the middle there. 7 here, 250, now 2.5, 250, 2.5, 55, 7, 60, $2, 2.5, 7, 70, 2.5, but 7.5, 80, 2.5, 2 big ones, 82 and a half, 285, 282 and a half, 282 and a half. One big one, 282 and a half, now 5, now 7 and a half, now 90, now 2.5, 95, 295. Just one big one, 295, 95, 292 and a half, D&D 20, 871, 871. Okay, gonna hold a short-tailed one. 7.5, 305, 37 and a half. Holding the short-tailed one. 305, 37 and a half, 10, 12 and a half, 15, 17 and a half, 317 and a half, 350, 20, 320, 317 and a half, 20, 320, 320, 320, 20, 20, 20, 317 and a half, Troy 1. 7, a little short tail, $2 now 5, 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 5, 5, $2 now 5, $2 now 5, $2 now 5, 180 now 590, 185, 190, 185, 190, 185, 190, 90, 90, 95. $2, $5, 205, 205, 205, 205, 205, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 210, 205, Javier 27. 315, 17 and a half. Hold one, Jody. Hold one, everybody. 379, 20. 379, 20. 320, 20. 20, 20, 20. 320, 379, 20. 2 and a half. 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5. 25, 7 and a half. 327 and a half. 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. 327 and a half. Troy, 5. 7 here, $3 now 5, $3 now 5, money 5, $3 now 5, $3 2 and a half, 302 and a half, 5, 305, 7 and a half, 10, 12 and a half, 15, 17 and a half, 317 and a half, 317 and a half, 315, D&D 54. 7 here, 7 and 230 now 5. 230 on the money now 5. 45 and 50, 255, 65, 75, 80, but a 2 and a 5, 2 and a 5, 280, 2 and a half, 280, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 280. Nolan, 27. By the head, 450, 475. Money 75, 450, 75. $500, 500 now quarter. By the head, 5.5, 575, 600 now quarter. Now half, now 675, 700, 700 and a quarter, 7.5, 75, 800 and a quarter, 8 and a quarter, 8 and a half, 875, 900, 900 a quarter, 925, 925. By the head, 950, 975, now 1,000 a quarter, 10 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 a quarter, $1,000. Russell 2. Folk cattle, cage folk. Boys, 40 something head of them. 7 here, 330 now 5. 330 now 5. 330 money 5. Got the money or what? 330 now 5. 330 2 and a half. 330 2 and a half 5 at a 35. 37 and a half. 340 40 40 2 and a half 5 at a 45. 47 and a half. 350 350 50 50 2 and a half. 55 355 357 and a half. 357 and a half. 357 and a half. 357 and a half. 355 Simpson 60. You bet. Good ones here. 340 now 5, 340 now 2 and a half. On the money now 2 and a half. 45, 345, 345, 7 and a half. 350, 50, 50, 2 and a half, 50, 2 and a half, 55, 55, 355, 7 and a half. 357 and a half, 360, 360, 2 and a half. 360, 2 and a half, 5, 365, 7 and a half. 360, 7 and a half, 70, 370, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, 5, 7 and a half. 377 and a half, 80, 80, 2 and a half, 80, 2 and a half, 85, 387 and a half. 390, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 390, 390, 387 and a half. Simpson 35. 7 here, $3 now 5. $3 on money 5, $3 now 5. 10, $10, 10, 15, 20, 5, 325, 30, 30, 2 and a half, 330, 2 and a half, 35, 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 337 and a half, 40, 2 and a half, 340, 2 and a half, 5, 45, 40, 2 and a half, 5, 345, 342 and a half. Simpson 65. All right, from Sonora, Kate Boats. $3 now 5 money 5 5 10 15 15 20 2 and a half 325 25 25 25 322 and a half 25 7 and a half 327 and a half 325 7 and a half 327 and a half 327 and a half 327 and a half 325 Troy 1. 7 and a half, $3 now 5. $3 now 5, money 5, $3 now 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 335, 335, 35, 32 and a half, 335, 35, 35, 337 and a half, 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 335, Fry 49. Fry 49. $305, $307 and a half, $10, 10, $307 and a half, $310, 12 and a half, 15, 17 and a half, 20, $320, $317 and a half, 20, 22 and a half, 2 and a half, 325, 7 and a half, 327 and a half, 30, 330, now 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 25, 35, 37 and a half, 337 and a half, 337 and a half, 335, Troy 1. Sell the steer, red ball face steer, 360 now 5. 360 on the money now 5. 75, 85, 95, $4 now 5. 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5, 40, 445, 55, 60, 5, 470, 465, 75, 80, 80, 480, 80, 475, D&D 31. 7 here, 315 now 5. 350 now 5, money 5. 65, 75, 80, 5, 90, 5. 395, $4 5 at a 10, but about 10, 45, $10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, do about 410, 405, D&D 3. Two big ones, sell two big ones. 320, now 2.5. 320 on the money, 2.5. 320, 2.5. 2.5, got the money now, 2.5. 2.5, 2.5, but a 5, but a 7.5. 330, 2.5. 32.5. 335, 35, 7.5. 340, 2.5. 2.5, 2.5, but a 5, but a 5, but a 5. 345, 345. 340, 2.5. Fry, 49. 7 here, 350 now 5, money 5, 355, 60, 70, 5, 80, 5, 90, 390, 85, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 385, Troy 11. Sell 3 reds. 7.5, 350 now 5, 350 on the money now 5, 355, 355, 355, 60, 5, 70, 70, 375, 75, 75, 80, 80, 380 now 5, 85, 85, 90, 90, 90, yeah, sell 3 reds, 395, 395, 395, 95, 95, 95. 390, Troy 4 on the scales. That's Troy 4. Tell them right here, 370, now 5. 80, 375, 80, 80, 80, 375, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 380, 380, 380, 375, Troy 2. Two little ones there, 310, now 15, money 15, 310, 315, 310, 315, 15, 15, 20, 320, now 5, 30, 5, 35, 335, 35, 35, 35, 330, Troy number 5. So the big one here, but a 280 now 5, money 5, but 2 to 5, 95, but a $3.5, 10, but about $10, 10, 3 10, 15, 315, 315, 315, 315, 20, but about 20 now 5, 325, 325, 325, 320, D&D 5-4. All right, Milliken cattle. 360 now 5, 360 on the money now 5, now 70, 375, 80, 85, 85, 90, 390, 85, 90, 90, 90, 85, 90, 385, 90, 90, 385, Fox 45. So one head over there, 340 now 5, 340 on the money now 5, 550, 355, 355, 65, 70, 375, 375, 55, 370, Simpson 35. 320 now 2.5, 320 now 2.5, 320 now 2.5, 2 money 2.5, 322 now 2.5, 327 half, 330, 30, 30, 327 half, 330, 330, 330, 327 half, Simpson 65. Sell 2 little ones there, 330 now 2.5, 330 now 2 and 3. 330, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 330, 2.5, money 2.5, 335, 335, 7.5, 37.5, 337.5, 337.5, 337.5, 337.5, 335, Fry 49. 7 here, $2.50 now 5, 255, money 565, 75, 280, 5, 85, 95, $3, 5, 10, $310, 10, 10, 310, 305, Shoat 6. Say 350 now 5, 350 now 5, 5, money 5, 355, 350 now 560, 60 now 5, 70, 375, 75, 75, 75, 75, 370, Troy 3. Okay, sell 2 head there next to Jody. 330 now 5, 330 now 5. On the money, 540, 345, 345, 345, 3. Okay, many more as you want. 345, 345, now 50, 350, 55, 355, 355, 60, 360, 65, 360, Troy, number 3. $3, now 5, money 5, $3 now 5, $3 now 5, 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5, 40, 5, 350, 355, 355, 65, 70, 5, 375, 85, 385, 90, 90, 90, 385, 90, 90, 90, 90, 385, Wilford Wildy. Tell the big one, big one, big one. $2 now 5, $2 now 5, $2 now 5, money 5, $2 now 5, big one, $2 now 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 10, 10, 15, 25, 30, 5, 235, 5, 230, H71. 380 now 5, 380 now 5, 90, 95, $4, 10, 15, 25, 425, 425, 425, 25, 25, 425, 425, 420, so lease. It's half and a half, 250 now 5, 250 now 5, and 250 now money 5, 250 now 5, 60, now 5, now 70, now 5, now 80, but 5, 285, 90, 95, but 295, $3, $3, $3, $3, 295, shoat 6, shoat number 6. That's some bulls. Two big ones, 290, now 2.5, 290, 295, 95, 97, $3, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 7.5, 3, 7.5, 10, 10, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 310, gully 6. 7 here, $3 now 5, $3 now money 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 330, 30, 325, 30, 35, 35, 40, 5, 345, 5, 5, 340, Letty 94. Seven right there. Got a steer. 7 and 330 now 5. 330 now 5. Money 5. 335. 335. 35. 35. 35. 35. 35. 330. Simpson 35. 35. $380 now 5, $380 now 5, $380 now 5, 85, 85, 85, 85, money 5, $385, 90, 90, 5, $4, $4, 5, 405, 405, 405, 405, 5, 10, 410, 10, 7.5, 10, 10, 410, 410, 410, 407.5, Troy 4. Sell the boom. 7.5, 320 now 5, 320 on the money 530, 5, 40, 5, 50, 350, 345, 50, 50, 50, 55, 350, 350, 345, capital 35. 7.5, $3 now 5, $3 now 5, 5 money 5, $3 now 5, $3 5, 10, 10, 15, 20 now 5, now 30, now 5, now 40, 340, 335, 40, 40, 40, 335, Wilford Wildy. 340 now 5, 340 now 5, and the money 5, and 340 now 5, 340 now 5, and 5, 50, 350 now 50 now 50 now 5, 355, 355, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 355, 350, Troy 5. Sell one big one, 7.5, 3. Sell the big one, 320, now 5. 320, now 5. On the money, 530, now 5, now 40, now 5, now 50, now 5, now 65, and a 365. 365, and a 5. 360, Troy, number 3. 340, now 5, and a 340, now 5. 50, even about 350, now 50, now 50, 55, 350, 350, 350, 350, 350, 350, 350, now 5. 360, now 5, 370, with a 5, and a 80, with a 5, and a 90, 5, and a $4, 395. Russell, 3. It's happening. 280 now 5, 290 now 5. Sell the bull, 280 on my 595 at a $3.5. 10 and the man, $10, $10, $10, $3 and $10, $10, $10, $10, now 310. 12 and a half, 312 and a half, 312 and a half, 312 and a half, 310, Troy 6, heifer 330, now 2 and a half, 330, 2 and a half, and money 2 and a half, 5. 37 and a half, at a 40, with a 2 and a half, at a 5, at a 7, 345, 14 and a 5, 7 and a half, 350, with a 50, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, at a 2 and a half, 355, 357 and a half, 360, 2 and a half, now 5, at a 7 and a half, 367 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 365, Troy 3. Three. 330, now 5. 330, now 5. Money 5 at a 40, but a 5, but a 45. 345, 50. 350, now 50, now 5. 55, 55, 55, 355, 60. 360, minimum 5, but a 5. 2 and a half, 5, but a 2 and a half, 85, 5. 7 and a half. 360, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half. 365, capital 35, 4. 34, 35, cap 35, cap 35. 320, now 5, 320, now 5, and I'm going to 325, money 5, 30, with a bit of 5, with a bit of 40, with a bit of 340, 345, with a 50, with a 50, 50, 50, with a 350, 355, 355, 360, with a bit of 65, with a bit of 70, 70, 375, with a 80, with a bit of 80, with a bit of 80, with a bit of 38, 38, 380, 375, Troy 4. 7 ahead, 250, now 205, 55, 55, 7 ahead, $60, now 5, now 70, 275, 80, 80, 285, 85, 90, 290, 95, 95, $3, $3, 5, 305, 305, 305, 305, 305, 305, 305, $3, Gully, 6, Gully, number 6. Sell 2 or more, 3. $2 now, $3 now 5, $3 on the money now 5. 2 of them pick to you like 305, 305, 305, 305, 305, 7 and a half, 3, 7, 8, 10. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, $10, $10, $10, 19, 310, 310, 310, 310, 312 and a half, 312 and a half, 15, 315, 79, 379, 379, 79, 315, Troy number 5, Troy 5. Okay, B3 head goes to Troy 5. Sell that thin one. Sell the thin one, 250 now 5, money 5, 255, turn 50 now 5, 55, 255, 255, 60, bit of 5, 70, bit of 5, 275, 80, 85, 85, 90, bit of 95, 95, 95, 295, 295, $3, bit of 5, bit of 5, 310, 310, 315, bit of 15, 20, bit of 5, 325, bit of 30, bit of 35, bit of 35, 330, D&D 94. African 240 now 5, 240 now 5, 240 now 5, money 5, but a 50, but a 255, 260 now 5, now 70 now 5, 80, but a 285, 285, 85, 285, 90, 95, but a 95, 95, 295, 295, 290, 871. 70, 280 now 5, 280 now 5, 280 now 5, 280 now 5, 285, 85, 285, money 5, 285, 285, 285, 90, but 95, but 5, 295, 290, D&D 91. 7 here, 290 now 5, 290 on the money now 5, 295, $3, 5, 310, 310, 15, 20, 20, 15, 20 now 5, 325, 25, 25, 25, 25, 320, D&D 23. Two more. Pick T like. 7.5, 390, now 5. 390, now 5. 390, 2 or more. 390, now 5. 390, now 5. 95, and 95, 95. That's 2 or more. 395, 395, and 95, 95. And a 360, now 5. 360, now 5. 365. 360, now 5. 360, now 5. 360, now 5. 360, now 5. Going on. 360, now 5. 360, now 5. 330, now 5. 335. Money, 5. 35, 5. 330. Troy, 4. Sell 2 Herefords. 250, now 5. 250, now 5. 250, now 5. 250, now 5. And 255. On the money, now 5. 250, 560, but 5, 70, 5, 280, but 5, 285, but 90, but 295, 295, $3, but $3, $295, Lady 94, Lady 94, 390, now 5, now money 5, but $4, 510, 410, 15, 20, but 5, but 30, but 5, but 40, 550, 455, 455. Have the little black if you want it. 455, 450 now, 555, and a 55, 450 blue. You want the little black? One more. So one big one. 250 now 5. 250 now 5. Money 5. Sell the big one. 60 now 5. Now 70 now 5. 80. 2 to 5. 2 to 5. 85. 85. 2 to 5. 2 to 5. 2 to 5. 2 to 5. 280. D and D 23. Heifer 330 now 5. 330 now 5. 45. 55. 65. 75. 80. 90, but 90, 395, but $4, $4, 5, 4, 5, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, $10, $10, 4 and 5, so lease. Heifer kind 330, now 5, money 5, 40, 5, 55, and a 60, 5 and a 70, 375, 80, 80, 80, 375, 80, 80, 80, 80, 85, 390, 95, and 95, 95, 95, 390, Gully 1. $7.5, 110, 111, 110, 111, money 11, 11, 11, 10, 12, 112, 113, 14, 15, 116, 117, 118, 119, 119, 20, 121, 81, 121, 120, Tom 1. O'Hara, boys, first time to town. 3 and 4 months bred. 19.5, $2,000, $2,000, $19.5, on the money, 2021, 21.5, 22, 2.5, 22.5, 3, 23.5, 24, 2,400, half, 24.5, 2,400.5, now half, 2,400.5, 24.5, 24.5, 24.5, 24.5, 2,400, show number 18, showed 18. Open cows 133, 134, 133, 34, 35, 36, 37, 138, 39, 138, 9, 99, 40, 141, 141, 140, Marty 25. They are 7 months bred. Every $135, $136, $135, $36, $35, money 6, $35, $36, $137, $137, $38, $138, $9, $9, $40, $140, $140, $140, $140, $140, $140, $140, $139, Lone Star. 110, 11, 110, 111. On the money, 11, 11, 11, 11, 110, 111, 111, 11, 11, 12, 112, 13, 113, 112, 113, 13, 13, 13, 113, 112. Tom, 1. Sell two blacks, you can take them all. 7 half, 330, now 5, money 5, 45, 55, 65, 375, 80, 90, 90, 39, 39, 85, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 385, fry 39.
Andy,
What do you say? 310, 15, 310, 15, 15, 310. On the money, 15, 20, 5, 30, 5, 40, now 5, 345, 350, 350, now 5, 355, 360, now 5, 365, 75, 75, 75, 75, 370, H 37.
my neighbor, David Adams.
Say, sell one steer, sell a steer, 305, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, money, 7 and a half, 305, 7 and a half, 37 and a half, 7 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 and a half, 305, Simpson number 37. Okay, right north of town, they are 4 months bred. What about 7 half, 1800 now half, 1800 now half, 19 now half, now 2000 now 50, 20, 50, 21, 21 and a half, 2200, 22 and a half, 3, 23 and a half, 23 and a half, 23 and a half, 4, 24, 24 and a half, 2400 and a half, 24 and a half, 25, 25 now half, 25 and a half, 2500 and a half, I have it, 25 and a half, 25 and a half, $2,500, shoot 19. 235, 7 and a half, 42 and a half, 7 and a half, 52 and a half, 55, 7 and a half, $60.25, 67 and a half, 72 and a half, 7 and a half, 80, 280, 280, 280, 280, 280, 277 and a half, H 71. Okay, be bred to Mackenzie, Angus Bull, be light bred to Angus Bull. 125, warrior to you now 6, money 6, 26, 127, 127, 28, 29, $30, 30, 31, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 35, 134, 95, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 34, 35, 35, 35, 134, fry 10. Same deal, be bred to Angus Bulls. 140 now 1, able to win another 1. 140 now 1, money 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 148, 49, 149, 50, 150, 150, 150, 150, 150, 150, 150, 149, Lone Star.
Always call him and tell him.
All right, 140 now 1, able to win another 1, money 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 47, 148, 149, 150, 50 now 1, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 150, Lone Star. Open cow. 140 now 1, able to win another 1, number 40, 1, 2, 3, 42, 3, 4, 44, 5, 46, 47, 48, 49, 148, $9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 50, 50, 150, 150, 150, 149, Lone Star.
Crow's Nest is my new neighbor too. I didn't know, but now I know. She works
Young here. 158 out one, able to win out one, young and light bread, 151 2, 151 2 3, 53 54, 54 54, 53 now 4, 154 now 4, 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 now got him 54, 153, fry 10, fry 10.
Why does Crow's Nest have that address in down the road? Across from it.
Okay, came off some cows this morning. Two red steers, 360, now 5, 360 on the money, now 5, 70, 5, 80, 85, 90, 390, 95, $4, 5, 405, 10, 10, 10, 10, 15, 15, 15, 15, 20, 420, now 5, 425, 25, 25, 25, 420, Troy, number 4, Troy 4. Sell the black steer $4 now 5. $4 now 5. Money 5 and 10, 15, 20, 5 and 30, 5 and 40, 5, 445, 50, 455, 455, 455, 460, 5, 465, 465, 460 below. 7.5, 380 now 5. Heifer kind 380 now 5, 95. $4 now 5, now 10, now 15, 20, 55, 425, 430, 5 and 435, 35, 35, 35. 430 Solis. 142, 143, 142 on the money now 3, 142 now 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 47, 147, 48, 48, $9, 9, 148, 9, 148, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 148 Lone Star. Sell a broke mouth cow, 140 now 1, 140 hit it 1, money 1, 1 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 45, 144 Lone Star. All right, hey, one of those big kids. 133 now 4, 133 now 4, 133, 4, 5, 6, 7, 37, 37, 38, 38, 9, 41, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 47, 146, D&D 99. $2 weigh them to you now 5, $2 now 5 on the money 5, 10, 15, 2, 15, 2, 10, 12 and a half, 2, 10, 2, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 2, 10, 2, 12 and a half, 2, 12 and a half, 2, 12 and a half, 2, 10, Tom 1. Sell heifer, black ball face heifer, $2.80 now 5, 280 now 5, money 280 now 5, 285, 85, 90, 90, 285, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 285 D&D 23, D&D 23. Guys, steer 280 now 2.5, 285, 85, 85, 85, 285, 82 and a half, now 5, 85, 7 and 90, 2 and a half, 85, 97 and a half, $3, $3, $3, $3, $3, $3, 297 and a half, Nolan 75. Sell a cow, solid mouth cow, 6 months bred. 2000 now 21 money 1 2050 now 21 1 and a half 2 2 and a half 23 3 and a half 4 and a half now 5 now half now 5 and a 6 26 and a half 2700 2700 26 and a half 2700 2700 2700 2700 2650 showed 18 280 now 2 and a half 280 2 and a half money 2 and a half 280 2 and a half 82 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 and a half 280 showed 6. You talk about pretty nice. 6 months bred, young as she can be. $1,700 now, $1,800, 17, $1,800, 17, 6 months bred, $1,700, $1,800 now, half, 19. 19 now half, 19 half, 2,000 now 50 now 1 half, 21 half, 2,100 half, 2,100 half, 2,100 half, 2,100 half, half, at about 21 half, 21 half, 2,100 fry 10, 280 now 2 and a half, 280, 2 and a half, 280, 2 and a half, money 2 and a half, 280, 2 and a half, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 280, 2 and a half, 280, D&D 9-3. Checked at the ranch. 7 half, 127 8, 127 28 9, now 30, now 1, now 2, now 3, 32 3, 32 3, 132 now 3, 33 33 33, 133, 134, 134, 135, 135, 136, 37, 138, 139, 139 40, 140, 140, 140, 140, 139, Marty 15. All right, McGowan cattle. Whoa. Okay, hold 4-month bred cow if you need to. 133, 134, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 41. 141, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 148, 49, $50, 50, 51, 1, 2, 3, 54, 5, 156, 57, 158, 159, $160, 1, 62, $1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 54, 65, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, $9, 9, 68, $9, 58, 9, 58, 9, 58, 9, 58, 9, 168, D&D 105. Where 150 now 1, $1, $1, 2. $151, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 58, 159, $160, $1, $2, 3, now 4, now 4, now 4, now 4, now 5, now 6, 65, 6, 7, 8, 8, $9, $9, $9, 169, now 70, 171, $1, $1, $1, $170, 1, $1, 2, $1, 2, 3, 173, 4, 75, 76, 7, $7, 8, 78, $9, $9, 80, 1, 81, 2, 2, 3, 82, 3, 4, 84, 85, 85, 85, 85, 184 show number 18. Broke mouth cows, all 5 and 6 months bred. 145, 46, on the money, 7, 8, 9, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 58, $9, $60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 65, 166, 165, $6, $6, 7, 167, 167, 166, fry 15. 5 months bred. 7 and 144 now 5. 144 money 5. 5, 5, 4, 5, 5. 44 now 5. 6, 46. $146, $6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. 149, 150, 151, 51, 52, 52. 151 now 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 151, Marty 16. Marty 16. 2 or more, pick till you like. 150 now 1. 151, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 58, 59, 61, 2, 3, 63, 4, 5, 6, 66, 7, 8, 169, 168, $9, $8, 70, 170, 171, $1, $1, 2, $1, 2, 3, 173, 4, 5, 75, 5, 174, Lady 10, Lady 10. 130. Now 130 on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 37, 36, 7, 8, 38, 39, 41, 42, 43, 143, 142, 3, 33, 4, 44. Now 5, 6, 47, 147, 47, 7, 8, 148, $9, 149, 148, $9.99. Have her go right along. 149, 149, 149, 149. Sold them. 148. Brady H. Brady H. You want this cow? Brady H. Oh, 6 and 7 months bread. 7 and 133, 134. Somebody 4, 5, 35, 36, 36, 35, 36, 7, 37, 38, 38, 39, 40, 140, 140, 140, 140, 140, 140, 40, 140, 140, 140, 140, 139. Marty, number 41. Okay, yard them with okay, with what, Marty? 16. They're 41. Marty 41, yard them with 16s. Okay, over there. 133, 4. 133, 34. 133, money 4. 134, 5. 136, 7. 38, 39, $40. $1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 48, 149, 148, 9, 50, 51, 51, 51, 2, 52, 3, 3, 3, 3, 152, Brady H. Brady H. Over there, sell 2 head, 135, 36, 7, 8, 9, 41, 42, 43, 42, 3, 114, now 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, now 3, now 3, now 3, 142, Marty 25, Marty 15, Marty 15, 145, 146, 145, Marty 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 150, 150, 150, 150, 50, 50, 50, 150, 150, 150, 149, Lone Star. Seven and 125, 126 on the money, 7, 8, $9, $30, 1, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $37, 7, 136, 137, 137, 137, 137, 137, 136, Marty 15, Marty 15. Seven hand, 125, 126, 125, money 6, 7, 8, 29, $30, 1, $1, 2, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 35, 36, 135, 36, 36, 36, 36, 36, 135, Marty 15. All right, new deal. Okay, be a few more single pairs. Heifer care. 1,900, now $2,000, 2,000, now 21, 2,100, 21, now 2, now 2, now 3, now 4, 5, 25, 2,600, 2,700, 2,700, 26 and a half, 2,600 and a half, 27, 27 and a half, 2,800, now half, now 9, half a dollar, 29 and a half, 3,000, now half, $3,050, 3,000, now $50, 50, 50, better, 3,000, now 50, 50, better, 3,050. Sold her $3,000. Wilfred Wildy won. 21, 22, 21, 22, 21, 2,200, 2,200 on the money. Now 2, now 3, 23, 24, 25, 25, 26, 27, 2,700, now 28, 29, 29, 28 and a half, 2,800 half, 9, 2,900, 2,900, 28 and a half, 29, 9, 58, 9, 58, 9, 28 and a half, D&D 106. Look there, a good Charlotte calf. 1150, $1,200 on the money. 1,200, 11 half, 12 now, 13 now, 14 now, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 1,800 now half, 18 and a half, 1,800 and a half, 1,900, 1,900, 1,900 now half. 19 and a half, 1,900 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 and a half, $1,900, Tom, 2. Well, look over here. 18 and a half money, 1900. 18 and a half, 19, now 2000, now 21, 22, 23, 23, 22, 23, 22, 23, 2300, 23, 24, 25, 26, 25 and a half, 2600, 2600, 2600, 26 and a half. You say 26 and a half, 26 and a half, 2600 and a half. Now I have it a bit of 2600 and a half, 2600 and a half, 2600 and a half, a bit of 26 and a half. $2,600. Kenny, 55. Kenny, 55.
I got a phone call.
Hold it.
Oh, another 12 behind that work. Another work. So 24 heads. Okay. All right. Andy, on that last guy, there's going to be 24 head. Jeff Wesson. There's going to be a 12 work and a 12 work.
Okay, the big calf pull off. Sell over there, 150 down 2 and a half, 150 down 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, $60, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 165, 5, 7 and a half, 167 and a half, 70, 170, 2 and a half, and a 5, 77 and a half, 80, 2 and a half, 5, 85, 87 and a half, 91, 90, 2 and a half, 95, 97 and a half, now $2, $2, 2 and a half, 25, 25, 7 and a half, 10, 12 and a half, 15, 17 and a half, 20, 2 and a half, 222 and a half, 222 and a half, 220, Marty, number 2, Marty 2. By the head. 450 by the head. Now money, 75, 500, now quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half, 575, 575. 575, $600, 600 and a quarter, cut about a quarter half, second half, 75, $700, 700 and a quarter, 700 and a quarter, cut about a 7 and a half, 750, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 750, 750, 750, 725, Tom, 1. Sell the calf, $4 now 5, $4 now 5, $4 on the money now 5, $4 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 430, 5, 435, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 430 Baloo. By the head, 400, now 25. On the money, 25, 50, 475, 500, now quarter, now half, now 75, 600 and a quarter, 6 and a half, 675, 700, now quarter, 7 and a half, 75, 800, 800 and a quarter, 8 and a quarter, 800 and a quarter, cut a bit, 8 and a quarter, 8 and a half, 8 and a half, 875, 900, 900 and a quarter, 9 and a quarter, 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 75. Now $1,000, 1,000 and a quarter. 10 and a quarter, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a quarter, $1,000, Tom, number 3. Okay, got in there last night. 2,200 now 3, 22, 23, on the money 3, 4, now 5, now 6, now 26, 27, 28, 29, 29, now 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 3,000 now 50, 3,050. 3,050. They're young. They're good. 3,000 now. 50, 50, 50, 51. 31 and a half. 31 and a half. 31 and a half. 32. 32 and a half. 32 and a half. $3,250. Now 3. 33. 33 and a half. 33 and a half. 3,300 and a half. Hey, 33 and a half. 33 and a half. Now 4. You nearly had them. 3,400. 33.75. 33.75. 33.75. Sold them. 33.50. 4B. 4B. Sold the bull by the scales. 290, now 5. 290, now 5. On the money, 5. $3, but 5, but 10, but 15, but 20, but 325. 325, 30, but 30, but 5, but 40, but 45, 50, but 355, but 355, 5, 355, 350. Lady, 94. 600 by the head and a quarter. 600 and a quarter and a half. Now 75, 700 and a quarter and a half. 75, 800 and a quarter and a half. 8, 9, 75, 900, 900 and a quarter. 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 75. 975. Now $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000. 975 by the head. That Salvador. 390 now 5 money 5 $4 now 5 now 10 now 15 25 35 45 455 60 bit of 5 475 80 bit of 5 90 bit of 5 500 $5, $5, $5, $4.95, $5 now, 5, 5.10, 5.10, 5.10, 5.15, 5.15, 5.15, 5.15, 5.15, 5.10 below, 5.10 below. 7 half, 290, now 5, 290 on the money, now 5, $3, 5, 10, 15, 20, bit of 5, 325, 320, 2 and a half, 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 320 D&D 91. Heifers 330 now 5, 335 40 now 5, 350 55, 360 365, 75, 80 5, 90 5. $4, $4, 5, 405 10, $410 10, $410 10, 10, 10, 410, 405 Solis. 130 now 1, 131, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 37, 38, 38, 39, 41, 2, 3, 4, 45, 46, 145, 46, 96, 96, 96, 96, 145, Tom 1. Young here. What do you got? 170 now, Wayer to you. 170 now, 1, 2. Money, 1. 171, 107 by the pound. 171, 2. 74, 76, 78, 80, but a 2. 182, 4, 86, 86, 88, 90, 192, 194, 196, 198, $2, 2. 202, 204, 206, 208, 10, 12, 212, 212, 212, 14, 214, 16, 216, 18, 218, 20, 220, 20, 20, but a 220, 220, 218, Lady, 15. So two more. 7, 150 now 1. Money 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, but a 7. 157, 57, 57, 57, 57, 157, 157, 156. Lone Star. 2 head the Lone Star. 7 half 120. Sell the thin cow. 120 now 1. 120 he would 1. On the money now 1. 100 thin cow, 121, 121, 121, 121, 120, Marty, 8. Put her on, Marty 8. It's happening, 330 now 5, 330 now money 540 with a bit of 345 and a 50 with a 350 now 50 now 50 now 55, 355 60 with a bit of 5 with a 365, 365 5 with a bit of 5, 360 Simpson 65.
Hold on, let me just make sure. I got the new deal score. No, I mean, you think it went on that other deal? It started this new deal, Cox. They sent one head in. I think it's a new deal, but then why did it come in all by itself?
I was 25 head of these from Ozona. 2 bulls, 270 now, 2 and a half. Money, 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 30, 2 and a half, 7 and a half, 90, 2 and a half, 97 and a half, $3, 2 and a half, 302 and a half, 302, 5, 305, 305, 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 307 and a half, 307 and a half, 305, Nolan, 56. 320, now 2.5, money, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 327.5, 330, now 2.5, 332.5, 5, 37.5, 337.5, 7.5, 37.5, 37.5, 37.5, 335, Troy 6. What you got? One steer? One steer, 340, now 2.5. 340 on the money, 2.5. Now 5, now 5, 7.5. 347.5, 350, 52.5, 52.5, 52.5, 355, 55, 7.5, 60, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 367.5, 72.5, 370, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 370, Troy, 5. So 290 now 5, 290 now 5, 290 money 5 now $3, $3 2.5, 3.5, 7.5, 10 minimum 10, 10, 10, 310, 312.5, 312.5, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 310 capital 31. Sale one big one, a little long underneath. 160 now 5, 160 now 5, 5, 5, 160 now money 5, 160 Marty 44. Sell the big one. Big one, 360 now 5, 360 now 5, money 5, 75, 80, 5, 90, 5, 95, $4.05, 405, 10, 15, 20, 5, 425, 30, now 5, 440, now 5, 445, 50, 50, 50, 54, 54, 54, 54, 50, 445, Liddy 94. 7.5, 380, now 5, 380, now 5, 90, 90, 90, 95, $4, now 5, now 10, now 15, 20, 425, 430, now 5, 435, 40, 440, 440, 440, 440, 435, Ritter. Wait the count. 145, $46. On the money, 6, 7, 48, 49, 51, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 56, 56, 57, 57, 57, 57, 57, 58, 58, 58, 58, 58, 157, Lone Star. $250 now 5, $250 on the money now 5, $255, $255, 60 now 65, $270, 5, 80, 280, 85, 90, $290, 95, $3, $3, 5, $3 now 5, $3 now 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, $3, Lady 93. Two more, 350 now 5, 350 on the money now 5, 60, 5, 70, 5, 80, 80, 380, 380 on two of them, 380, 380, 380, 375, Fry, 39, 7.5, 330 now 5, 330 on the money now 5, 335, 40, 50, 355, 355, 360, 70, 75, 375, 370, Troy 3. Heifer can $4 now 5, now 10, 15, 25, 30, 435, 40, 445, 445, 50, 455, 455, 465, 65, 460 now 5, 5, 5, 460, Say a little one there. 340 now 5. 340 now 5. 340 now 5. Money 550. 350. 350. 350. 350. 55. 355. 60. 360. Even to 5. 365. 360. Troy 3. 7 here. $3. Now 2.5. Now 5. 3 7 8 10 12 and 15 7 8 20 2.5 5 325 320 2.5 5 5 5 5 320 2.5 D&D 26.
Same deal. Last pregnancy, it'll last.
They had a little of everything. 322 and a half, 322 and a half, 322 and a half, money, 2.5, 322 and a half, 320 and a 2.5, 5, 25, 27 and a half, 327 and a half, 327 and a half, with a 30, 330, 30, 30, 30, 30, with a bit of 30, 30, 30, 30, with a bit of 30, 327 and a half, Troy won. Sell the big one. 140 now one. 140 able to one. Money one. Able to one. That one. 140 now one. Able to one. That one. Able to one. 141. 140 Marty number 25. By the head here. By the head. 225, 250. 2 money 50. 225, 250. 250 by the head. 275, 300. 300 and a quarter. 3 and a half. 3 and a half. 375, 400. 400. 400 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 75. Now 500, now quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half, 575, $600, 600, 600, 600, 600, 600, 600, 600, 575 by that Russell 2, Russell 2. Okay, boys, 24 ahead of them. Okay, they have been weaned 2 months, had a 7-weight shot. Wormed with Ivomac. 295, 97 half. 295, 97 half. 297 half. Now $3, $3, but a 2.5, but a 5, but a 305. 37 half, 7 half. 307 half. 307 half, 7 half, 7 half, 7 half, 7 half. 305. Simpson. One more time. 65. Simpson 65. 7 half. 330. Now 5. 330. Now 5. Money 5. 335. Money 5. 40. Now 5. 350, 2.5, 350, 2.5, 55, 7.5, 360, 2.5, 360, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 365, 365, 365, 360, 2.5, Simpson number 35, Simpson 35. Okay, hold the little steer. Okay, hold the little fuzzy brown one. 340 now 5. 340 now 5. 340 on the money now 5. 345 $50. 350 now 5. 355 355 60. 360 29 29 29 29 29 29 365 367 half. 370 370 29 29 29 29 29 5 375 375 372 and a half 5 5 5 5 5 372 and a half. Simpson 60. 7 here, 360 now 5. 360 now money, now 5. 365. 365. 5 5. 360. Troy 3. 4 hit it. Troy 4. Troy 4 on the scale. Coming on. Share cattle. 320, now 2.5, 320, 2.5, 320, 2 money, 2.5, 5, 25, 25, 325, 327 and a half, 330, with a bit of 32 and a half, 35, 35, 335, with a bit of money, 35, 35, 32 and a bit of 5, 335, 35, 35, 35, 35, 332 and a half, Troy 6. 2 or more, 290, now 5, 290 on money 5, $3 now 5, now 10, now 15, now 20, now 2 and a 5, 325, 327 half, 327 half, 327 half, 30, with a bit of 330, 330, 330, 330, 330, 327 half, Troy 1. Sell one by the scales. Hold your ticket. Over there. 270. Now 2.5. Now 5. 275. 7.5. 82.5. 7.5. 92.5. 95. 97.5. $3.2.5. 3.7.5. 3.10. 12.5. 15. 15. 3.15. 3.15. 3.15. 3.12.5. Showed 6. On the scales. Seven and a half, 305, 3.7.5, 305, 7.5, on the money, 7.5, 305, 7.5, 307, 7.5, 7.5, 307.5, 305, out the go, 7.5, 7, 6, 7, 8, 308, 9, 3.9, 3.10, 3.10, 3.10, 11, 3.11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 3.16, 3.17, 3.18, 3.19, 20, 1, 3.21, 2, 3.3, 5, 6, 3.27, 3.28, 3.28, $8, $8, 3.28, 3.27, show numbers. Cliffy 6. I go to Cliffy 6. All right, I guess that's it. That's all. Thank everybody. Appreciate your minutes. Thank you for being here. Be back next week for Bring a Bear Show. Well, you know, that is.